Good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I hope you come with me as we do a healing and homemaking day. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day out there. We're finally getting some spring weather. Today I'm going to work on doing a spring makeover in the house, putting Easter stuff away as well as cleaning out the mudroom. But first, I always start my healing day with making the bed. It's a sign that you're moving forward, that you care about the day, and it's just a symbol to yourself that you're getting started on a routine and you're not going to let any symptoms slow you down. No matter what the day, you get up and you make the bed. Making the bed is a fairly easy task, and I love to breathe and just really get into the motions, fluffing the pillows, and thinking about the day ahead, saying some positive affirmations in my head. Good morning. I love you. Today is going to be a great day. Getting started with a positive attitude is so important. For me, mornings are all about getting my mindset right, as well as spending time with my family, feeling productive, and doing things for them, which in turn make me feel good. I'm also just getting the cot at the end of my bed prepared. A lot of nights we have a child come down the stairs and crawl in bed with us. So rather than not get a great sleep, I have set up a cot at the end of the bed. If that happens, it's so much easier that they can crawl into the cot and not disturb. It's kind of bulky and annoying in the room, but these things are really important for your healing, just the little things. And it makes everybody feel good because I'm not turning my kids away. After making the bed, it's time to go out and check to see if my kids have gotten dressed and start with the morning hustle. So it's just a nice time for me in the morning, making the bed, just having that fresh breather by myself in the room before going out to a little bit more chaos. After I get dressed, do a little self-care, I usually take my TRS Zeolite spray, as well as use peppermint oil on my neck, my back, places that might feel some pain or symptoms and sensations. I usually put it below my nose so that I can smell it. And then I go out and take some Pectosol C for detox. Now it's time to get on to the morning routine. I don't eat in the morning, but I do cook breakfast for my children and husband if he hasn't left already, or sometimes I make it for him to go. So grass-fed butter and eggs. This morning I'm going to do some eggs with some organic cheese, and I'm going to be using some prosciutto. Getting my family's day started off right with some healthy food makes me feel good too. So I'm just going to be cracking some eggs here. Doesn't matter if they break because I am going to pop them for a little fried egg. And I'm going to do 2 for my husband, 1 for my daughter. So just getting them in the pan and starting to cook. As soon as they're cooked enough, I'm going to divide them into 5. And as soon as they're firm enough, I will just give them a little flip. I don't cook them all the way, but as soon as they're ready for a flip, I will flip them. It doesn't look pretty, but it's easy and it's a quick breakfast I know that they will all eat. So once they're all flipped, this side is going to cook while I just add some cheese. It's just some organic cheese. And then I'm going to be adding just some pieces on top of that of prosciutto. I always buy the imported prosciutto from Italy. It's really hard to get organic prosciutto, but in Italy they treat their livestock so much better and don't use all of those antibiotics and hormones. So I feel good about getting an imported prosciutto. Once the prosciutto is layered on top, I am going to flip it one more time so that it can just cook in with all that cheese and the prosciutto before plating it up for everyone to eat. And so it's easy. It's quick and easy. And everybody seems to like it. So then I just plate it up. I'll give my husband, he's heading out the door, so I will put his in a to-go box for him. And he can eat it as soon as he gets to work with his coffee. My son will have 2, and my daughter will have 1. As they eat breakfast, my daughter usually watches a show and my son does some homework as I prepare the lunch for the day. Here are some all beef organic hot dogs. I'm going to give them each one for their lunch from my local farm. And as that is heating up, I'm just going to cut the oranges. Apples this time of year seem to be not their favorite. We're getting into spring, so the apples are a little soft. So try to give them a different fruit rather than an apple every time, although apples are a staple in the winter. These navel oranges are great. So the only thing about the navel oranges is I need a separate container for them that is really seal-proof because it does get all over everything if I try to pack it with anything else. As I work in the kitchen, I like to make sure I'm taking full breaths and not tensing my body, really engaging in the activity that I'm doing, trying to use all my senses and put my attention on what's in front of me. So that's really helpful, especially for morning symptoms, to just stay busy and engaged with all your 5 senses, making sure that you're not working too fast, that you're not tensing your body, and that you're breathing as you go along. So cutting up some vegetables for my kids. Again, it can be a nice peaceful time to just chop and work, remembering to say kind things in your head to yourself, loving, peaceful affirmations and statements. Once I have their vegetables packed and their beef hot dogs are cooked, put them in a little container to try to keep them warm and pop them in the lunch as well. So I can feel good about them eating these because they're all beef and they come from my organic grass-fed farm. Just putting everything into their lunch kits. I like this time of day when I just methodically focus on what I'm doing, breathe, use my hands and my senses to just really be in the present moment. It's a mindfulness practice just to be in the present moment. And I'm going to add a cheese stick and a granola bar. And they know they're not meant to eat the granola bars unless everything else is eaten. So that's kind of our rule. Now that the lunches are done, the kids are still eating. And I have a few minutes now to prep a few things for myself. So I ignore the pile of dishes for now and focus on what I need to get done. I get my water ready for the day. I add Celtic sea salt just a little bit. I'm also preparing my enema for later in the day. Again, it's distilled water that I use in my enema along with my Celtic sea salt. And I find just preparing it in advance, I don't cook it, I don't do anything, I just get it ready. as a reminder and an incentive, so it's always ready to go. So just clearing their breakfast plates now as they finish some homework, and I'm gonna move my son's football stuff, get their backpacks organized, say good morning to the dogs, we say good morning to the hamster, and lots of cuddles, grabbing my tea. I make a ginger root tea. I pour halfway from the fridge, and then I put boiling water on top of the rest, and that's what I have every single morning. Grab my keys, and I'm ready to drive my kids to school. As soon as I get home, I go straight outside for my walk. My walk is my healing anchor, and it's really important to get out there every single day. So I love it. This is the time where I can do my brain retraining, listen to my mantras, do whatever I need to do for myself during this hour, and then come back to the house for some homemaking. I just love this beautiful weather, and stopping to breathe and focusing on that beautiful day is really important before coming home and seeing the mess that awaits me. So I usually will do a quick refresh from the morning, and that could take up to a half an hour, sometimes only 15 minutes, sometimes a bit longer, depending on what we've had going on that morning or the night before. So always starting with the dishes. And of course, this is my time to get my hands in there, being mindful, getting the temperature that I love, playing some music or listening to an uplifting or motivational podcast, something that's going to set me up for the day and give me hope and courage and just distract me, make me feel good, positive energy. As I do the dishes, I stay relaxed. I don't work too fast. I just enjoy being in the present moment, making sure I'm doing a nice reset of that morning so I can feel comfortable to move on with the day. You know, the pots and pans take a while, but this is the time to really breathe into your body. Breathe deeply into your abdomen. Just listening to podcasts or mindful music, or even just doing a meditative practice in your mind. These can all be healing activities, healing tasks. And it really does focus our mind on something other than symptoms. And it's a good feeling knowing that you're getting something done for your family at the same time. So just a quick reset on some of my cloths for the day, cleaning out the sink, and I just love the feel of the water running over my hands. I love the slow, methodical, way it feels to clean up and just be in this present moment. So you can make doing dishes fun. Believe it or not, you can make it a healing practice. And once my sink and my dishes are complete, I'm just going to move on to reset the rest of the kitchen and the counters before getting into a project that will fill me for the day. And as I do these daily projects, I stop, every hour to make sure I'm doing my healing modalities in between. And this is how you can take a healing schedule. You can get some things done for your family, and you can really, make it work, make it come together where it doesn't feel like it's all consuming or overwhelming. And it feels like you can be in flow with both your day and your healing schedule, not moving too fast, but not ever really stopping, not ever really, taking idle breaks to focus on symptoms or sensations, So we just go from homemaking to healing to homemaking to healing. And I find that a really peaceful thing to do. So tidying up the counters, tidying up the things that my kids were working on this morning for homework. And then I just love doing the counters. I spray my counters so many times a day, but it's fun. I think it's just a methodical, easy task for me to do. And I always feel good and refreshed and clean once the counters look shiny and sparkly. So it's a really nice way to start the day. So after my refresh, I'm going to pour myself my first glass of water. I do 2 full mason jars of water a day, and I like to start drinking them right away in the morning. I'm just going to be refreshing the office here. The kids were in here either last night or this morning, so refreshing and folding the blankets, fluffing the pillows, just getting everything set for the day. Look at my lazy dog. Don't we all wish we could feel like that? That's my goal. And then just refreshing the desks and the area. And before I start on my first project of the day, it's time to do my morning enema. So just prepping the bathroom, getting my enema kit ready. So I'm just getting everything ready. I keep a towel always that I use, that I put on the floor to do my enema with. And I also keep a little tiny bottle of coconut oil that's specific for my enema. So once I get all of that ready on the ground, it's time to just take the 20 minutes out of my schedule to do my morning enema. Making sure to help my body release any toxins, release any waste that may be weighing it down, that it may be holding on to. Supporting my body in this gentle way. And after I've taken all the time I need, I start on my first project, which is taking down this Easter stuff. So all I do is I go and collect the Easter stuff from around the house and set it in one location. So I'm just going to set it here on my dining room table as I go around, making sure to get every little knick-knack and decoration. It's kind of a fun job. Put on a podcast, put on some music. Really just get your mind into it and knowing that it's a nice feeling that your family appreciates the little things. And even when you're feeling, that low self-esteem or you're not really valuable for anything, you're not maybe working at the moment, you're not doing anything productive, you're having a really hard struggle, it's nice to be able to do these little things and to force ourselves to, do something that makes us feel good and that our family can appreciate. So tidying up, giving them a nice home to come home to and a place to be is a really wonderful feeling. If you're stuck at home and you're housebound and you're not really doing much of anything, this can make you feel good. It can raise that self-esteem. So just collecting all the little Easter eggs and the spring birds and nests and little decor pieces I had out. Decorating is one of my favorite things, and although when you have chronic illness or a lot of symptoms, it sort of takes the joy out of these things, doing them anyways can make us feel a lot more like ourselves, a lot more normal. And that's the goal, really, is to retrain the brain. All of these little activities train the brain to remember who you are, what's important to you. You know, it reminds us to focus on things that we love, things that matter. So just gathering up most of the Easter stuff now. And once I do, I'm going to have it all in one spot, which will be great. And I can get, oh, here's some more I forgot about. You can keep all the Easter plants and just take the little decorations off. So the spring plants still look amazing out in the house. And once I have everything piled on the table here, it's a wonderful time to just, take a little break, have some water, look outside, do some breathing. A nice healing break before moving on to the next task, which is putting everything away in a bin. So after a little break, I'll get back to it. Found some flowers that need to be dumped that are on their way out. And I'm just going to gather the Easter candy that my kids got and take it out of these baskets. So I usually get 2 bowls. And I dump everything in the bowls, one for one child and one for the other. They like to keep their things separated because, of course, it took them hard work gathering and collecting and beating each other out to find all the eggs and candy. So they got presents from their Nana and Papa as well as their grandparents. So any chocolates that they got, I'll just put in their bins or their bowls, and I can get rid of these Easter stuff to make sure they don't linger. So I'll just gather the baskets up now and add them to my pile. And I can start getting everything put away, which will be wonderful. So after a quick jaunt out to the garage, which I hate, it's such a scary place, it needs to be cleaned out, I find the Easter bin, bring it into the house, and I'm ready to load things in. So again, I just save all my paper towels and little baggies and things, put them in the bin, so when I'm ready, I have it all. So really, you don't waste, and you can use it for season after season. So I just gather some things up in some Ziploc bags. I'm always just trying to gather things to make it easier for when I decorate. Everything's in the appropriate spot next spring. And I like to use paper towels to wrap glass things, putting them in bins, separating just like the Easter egg decor, things like that. And like I said, I just continue to use the same bags and the same paper towels season after season. So after I gather everything up, I just, it's a lot of work, but I just go easy. I go slowly. I work at my own pace. I think that's really important when you're struggling with something, is to just, it's not a race. So as you're working, make sure that you do untense those muscles. Make sure that you do take full deep breaths. And make sure you stop, look out the window. Take some little breaks here and there. Drink your water. Just really working at an easy pace and making sure what you're listening to in the background is positive and uplifting. It could be music, it could be spa music, maybe classical music. It could be just fun, upbeat music to get you in a mood. It could be a podcast. It could be a healing story of somebody else, a recovery story. It could be, something really uplifting and motivating. It could be just funny things in the background. It could be, random things on TV that you might enjoy, a home and garden channel, or, anything like that, something relaxing, something easy, or you can just stay in the moment and work at a mindful meditation as you put the things away, just using it all as a mindful practice, right? Noticing, here's the paper towel. I'm wrapping a bunny. Feeling the bunny. Putting it away, noticing the colors. You can always draw your attention to the present moment and what's going on. Or if you need a little more distraction, you can have the sounds in the room be music or just uplifting stories. Like I said, having something that your mind can focus on, your hands can focus on, your heart can focus on. This is all a form of brain retraining. It's not a formal practice, but just training your mind to think positively, to be productive, to do things, to listen to uplifting things, to carry on with the life that you want in spite of what's going on inside you. This helps to retrain the brain. This helps to move us forward, and it adds up over time. And in the process, you really do create something beautiful. No matter whether you're working on a project outside in the garden or homemaking inside for your family or whatever it is that you're doing, you can create and you can beautify your space. You can be an asset to your family and your home as you're healing. And that builds your self-esteem. That builds, the qualities that you want and the way you feel about yourself. It helps you to be proud of yourself. And so I'm just going to shut this lid now, tape it shut. And it's a little heavy, so you could just set it aside and I'll ask my husband to move it later. Or I might just give it a try and move it towards the laundry room. Stopping, breathing, taking breaks, standing outside, breathing the air. Being in nature, it's all important. Never pushing yourself too hard. After a nice break, maybe 20 minutes of being outside, I'll come back to do my next activity. I'm just going to move my son's football things out of the way. He has football practice after school tonight in a city far away, so I have everything packed for him. Letting in that spring air, breathing the air, and starting my next project, which is switching over my mudroom from winter to spring. So I'm going to take all the winter jackets away. We each have our own cubby. So my daughter has a cubby, I have a cubby, my husband has a cubby. I just love the way I designed this room because we all have our own little space, and then there's a big closet for the extra things. So I'm just going to take away all the heavy winter jackets, and I'm going to leave out all the light spring and light winter jackets because we still have those cold days back and forth. For anybody in Canada know, April does not necessarily mean spring. But getting rid of those bulky, heavy winter ones can just lighten the mood and make you feel like spring is on the way, like it's actually going to come. So like I said, I leave out some lighter winter jackets and some spring jackets. It's hard to believe that it's spring already and that in another couple of months I'll be putting all the jackets away because it'll be so hot in the summer. But for now, just leaving out the appropriate jackets, making a pile on the floor of any of the winter jackets that we do not want to see again until it snows next winter. So again, we all have our own cubby, and we have a cubby for my dad too, who lives downstairs sometimes, and sometimes he lives at his girlfriend's house. So he also has a cubby. And my dogs have their own cubby too. So just getting rid of some of those bulky winter jackets that need to be washed for the dogs. And they won't need these again until next winter either. So I usually determine what needs to be washed, and the rest will just get hung up and put away in the closet. So I have 2 closets. One I keep for more springtime extra coats, and one I use for winter coats. So I'm going to take these winter coats out. They're coming out of this closet. They're going to go in my other closet. I only want to see spring and fall things in this closet. If I know that it's not going to fit them next season, I'm going to donate it and get rid of it. But anything that can be worn again, or for, rain jackets, specialty jackets, little sweaters, things that we've collected over the years, I'd really like to minimize all these jackets. But for now, I'm just going to keep spring, fall. There could be like a fancy jacket in here. There's rain jackets, there's sports jackets. And once I determine that they all get used a little bit, and I've taken out anything that's bulky and winter, then I consider that done. I'm gonna put all the winter jackets over in this other closet, and then I'll get started on the boots. So I'm just gonna pull out all the boots that I seriously hope we won't need again and put them in a bin and put this down in the storage room until next winter. So any winter boots are going to go in here. I'm just going to leave out running shoes. I'm going to start to bring out the spring shoes and maybe leave out a couple of those fall spring boots that we need, and everything else will get put away. So once that's done, I'm going to look through our cubbies to make sure all the boots are put away, and I'm only leaving out spring shoes. So again, I'm just going to get rid of the big winter bulky ones. Just organizing things, moving things around from closet to cubby. Some of it's going to go in the winter bin and some of it's just going to go in the closet. So I'll probably keep my daughter's boots. They are good rain boots as well as snow boots in the closet here. And just taking time to be aware of what my body's doing, what my mind is thinking, make sure I'm focused in on the present moment, and I'm done. So this bin will go downstairs or out in the garage. Now I'm going to hang up all the winter jackets in this closet. It's a bit of a smaller closet, but I can squeeze them all in here. So again, if something's going to be too small for next year, I won't keep it. But if there's a chance it'll fit them, I'll keep that and make that determination next winter. It's really hard to know at what rate the kids grow. So just spending some time hanging up the winter jackets, getting organized. Taking out a bin of spring and summer shoes that I can go through now and get out and get ready, because it won't be long before we are having those beautiful spring days, before the kids want to have bare feet and slip on a pair of their Crocs. So I like to have them ready to go and bring them into the back hall. I'm going to be just taking a little break now before I get into the summer stuff, finishing my first water, pouring some more. I have my tea there as well, my ginger tea that I'm drinking. And just taking time to breathe in some healing energy, to looking around the room. And I might stop and make my morning smoothie now. So this green smoothie is what I usually make every day. But today I'm going to switch things up a bit because I haven't been grocery shopping and I don't have any celery. I don't have all the ingredients that I normally put in my green morning smoothie. So I'm going to shake things up a bit instead and use some berries. So it won't look green once you add the berries. It always ends up looking brown when you mix red with green. But in here, what I normally do is I use flax seeds and chia seeds. So a scoop of chia seeds and a scoop of flax seeds. And this just helps with the fiber, helps with keeping your bowels moving and making sure that the toxins are being eliminated. So sometimes I'll use a handful of nuts. Usually I put them on a plate for lunch, a few nuts, but since I'm not going to be doing that, I'm just going to pop in a tiny handful of almonds. And I'm going to be putting in my collagen powder. After my collagen powder, I will be putting in these strawberries today. Now, normally I'm doing celery and romaine lettuce, but since I'm out today, I'm using the strawberries and the berries and the nuts. So I'm gonna add in my cucumber and I'm gonna do some coconut milk. A lot of times I just use water, but with the berries, this will be a nice creamy treat. Adding in my avocado, half of an avocado. Especially when you're eating keto or low carb, it's important to get your potassium. So I always love to have part of an avocado every single day. I love this Zwilling set, and it really helps when I vacuum suck the avocados after using them because they always go brown and gross, but this will keep this nice and green for tomorrow. So I'm going to be adding in some coconut milk, wiping up any spills or messes, and I have some fresh basil that I'm growing right now, so I'm going to add in some basil leaves and blend it up. So this is going to be a nice healthy smoothie with a lot of micronutrients, and I like to get in, like I said, a lot of vitamins and minerals from the smoothie because I am eating pretty keto and I'm eating a lot of meat. I'm eating a lot of, grass-fed meat and fish and other things. So I like to make sure that I've had enough micronutrients in the morning as well as some healthy fats and getting things like potassium and minerals that I would otherwise miss out on. So again, once you add berries, the attractive green color is lost, but that's okay. It's just for me, so it really doesn't matter what color it ends up being. And I'm going to use some of these wisps. My husband loves them. They're just little cheese crackers. Often I use beef jerky or these little cheese crackers or slices of cucumber, and that's what I will top my liverwurst pate with. So again, here's some of my beef jerky from my organic farm. And this is my homemade liverwurst recipe, so I really love to have some organs. So I'm going to be topping all of these with the liverwurst. So this is really keeps you in ketosis, but it also gives you the vital nutrients, those nutrient-dense, fat-soluble vitamins, things that you really need for healing. So I like to have, when I make my liverwurst, I make probably about 8 containers of this, and then I just have it on hand so I can go through it, and I love it. It tastes so good. So again, once I get my liverwurst spread on top of anything that I can use as a carrier, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to eat that along with the smoothie. At this point, I also take my supplements. So since I have a cough right now, I'm taking zinc, which I don't take all the time, B1, which is just really overall good for the nervous system. Here's a liver, beef liver, but since I'm having so much beef liver, I won't take that supplement today. I do my vitamin D3 and K2 drops. Just put them here on a spoon. And after that, I'm gonna add my cod liver oil to the same spoon. So again, all the fat soluble vitamins that are so amazing. You know, if we're not getting sunlight in Canada right now, I really need to supplement with the vitamin D, and cod liver oil is just amazing. So it's one that I definitely recommend to get all your omegas. So once I take that, I'm just gonna grab the rest of my supplements to get ready. And vitamin C, this brand is called Perk, and I love it. So it's 1,000 milligrams in each. So there's 2,000 milligrams that I'll take. I take vitamin C a few times throughout the day, so I like to have quite a few doses. I'm gonna take 2 amino acids, and I'm gonna take a big heaping spoonful of colostrum, which is it's goat colostrum, and it's just such an amazing superfood with so many nutrients in it. So I really find that beneficial, just supporting your gut health. And along with that is I'm gonna take a heaping tablespoon of kefir, as well as some magnesium and probiotic. So I save my probiotics and my magnesium and put them in a little cup, only a little cup. I don't mix it with all the rest of my water because it's kind of gross going down. So the smaller the cup, the better. And then I take the rest of my supplements with just my normal water. So that's great. So I've got everything now that will support a nutrient-dense diet. I've got some supplements, which are also supporting my gut, and making sure that my body gets the right amount of food, gets the right nutrients to help give it energy, vitamins, minerals, and enough to support my microbiome, enough to eliminate to make sure I'm going to the washroom daily. So that's what the fiber is really good for. You definitely don't want to get backed up when you're healing. You want to eliminate frequently. So I'm just going to take a break now, remembering to look outside, to look out the window, to do something joyful during lunch. Watch a funny show, a program, or go sit outside actually and enjoy it if it's nice weather. Look around, take a break. Just checking in here on my herbs that I just planted. They're starting to sprout nicely. That lettuce is not starting yet, but everything else has started, so I'm happy with that. And then it's time for a healing modality. I like to do a yoga or an exercise video now, whether I'm feeling like I need to release some energy or cultivate some energy. So depending on whether I need to bring more energy into my body, I'll do a slower, gentler yoga with stretching and calling the energy back in. If I have that nervous, tired, wired, buzzing, sort of more symptoms going on, then I will do like a more upbeat and active exercise workout video, just working everything out, ridding myself of excess energy. So depending on what the day is calling for, movement is so important. It's so important to stretch and move and get that lymph going. So any movement is good movement. You could go for a run. You could lift weights. You could do a cardio workout. But I love yoga because you're connected to your breath. You're connected to the ground. You're connected to the floor. You're connected to yourself. And especially if you're calling the energy back into your body or wanting to ground more, if you're having any derealization or spacey or dizzy feelings, this is a really, amazing something like yoga or Tai Chi. It's a really good somatic practice for coming back into the body and calling that energy, moving that energy around. So always remembering to take breaks, healing breaks through the day where we're doing a full, 20 to 30 minute exercise, movement, yoga, stretching. It's just so important. So I'm going to continue whatever you like to do, whatever kind of exercise you connect to. Aside from walking, which I really recommend everybody to do every single day and every single morning, this is more for your fascia, your muscles. It's doing different things. It's connecting to those organs. It's moving lymph. It's connecting to your breath. It's building strength, building stamina. So, the workout videos as well as the yoga videos and different modalities all have their place in a healing protocol. And it's not always just enough to walk. Although if you have to choose one, the walking is definitely what you should do. But I like to add a second one as well throughout the day. So again, it can be very gentle, like I'm doing right now. Just stretching. Feeling the muscles, feeling the movement, connecting to the floor, sort of flowing through, moving. You're building strength with your arms, your legs. You don't have to be great at yoga in order to do yoga. You just have to connect to your body. You just have to connect to your breath. And you have to start to build strength in your legs, in your arms, in your shoulders, stretching and moving the fascia. It's just an amazing thing to do for everybody every day. Coming back into your body, making sure that you connect to all the different muscles, all the different body parts. Right? We're stretching out the back. We're stretching out. And when we're finished, it's great to follow that up with a meditation. And if it's nice enough to go outside and to do your meditation outside, to ground to the earth. It's an amazing time now to slow it down, to connect deeply to your breath, to now feel into what's happening in your body, to do some somatic tracking, to notice those symptoms and sensations, to allow the feelings to rise up, and to train your brain that it's okay and you're safe to feel them as you just let go and connect to the earth that holds you. And I would normally just move right on, but I put some olive oil in my hair yesterday. It's really greasy, so I just had a shower instead. Making sure to take time for you, having your shower or your bath. You don't have to get beautiful. You don't have to put on makeup or do anything special, but just keeping yourself groomed and neat every day can make you feel more alive, less sick, which is the goal. So when we're done, having a shower, I don't really use a lot of creams. I have this vitamin C cream that I apply to my face, and usually that's about it. If I'm really dry, I'll add some coconut oil to my body. And that's it. Maybe some vanilla cocoa butter lip balm. and then you're done. Just checking on the dishes. They still have a little more time to heat dry. So I like to refresh a few times throughout the day. So anytime I have lunch or anytime we get some new dishes, it's a good time to just stop and do them. Again, grounding into the day, bringing a mindfulness to everything you do. I'm cleaning my Vitamix here, looking outside, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the day. Remembering to untense your shoulders. Remembering to be here now and to remind yourself that everything's okay, that you're healing, and that soon you won't feel any of this. Soon you will be doing this feeling amazing. It's good to remind yourself that you're moving in the right direction and that healing is inevitable. No matter what type of day you're having, it's great to just focus on being in the present, focus on the task at hand, and bring a positive outlook if you can. Slow down that racing mind. Don't think at all if you don't have to, if you can't replace those negative thoughts. Sometimes it's better to just shut off the thinking altogether and just stay grounded in the present. Listen to music, listen to a podcast, do something to distract yourself so that you don't have to think or get caught up in the swirling mind. Because the idea of all of this is to turn off thoughts, is to turn off the thoughts that pull us down, turn off symptom thoughts, turn off victim thoughts, and really start to cultivate a deep relationship with yourself, a deep love for yourself, a friendship with yourself, an unconditional bond with yourself. Get comfortable being in your own body. Get comfortable being in your own mind and heart and soul as we integrate and bring ourselves back into wholeness. That's sort of what all this is about, is coming back into wholeness. My husband and my son have a long drive ahead of them tonight for football, which he does out of town. And so I'm going to be packing them some dinner for the car so that they don't have to stop and get fast food. My son, just going to pack him some fruit. My husband is keto. He likes to eat a lot of meat and cheese. But my son, of course, has a lot of fruit and a varied, child diet. So just preparing everything for them. I give him a granola bar. I have some really good pastured pulled pork, and I'm going to give this to my son on a bun for his dinner because he really enjoys that, and he's not off gluten, even though I do try to limit their bread consumption. This will travel well and will be good for him. I'll give my husband as well some warmed up pastured pulled pork. It's organic, so it's great. And I'll give that to him in a container here. He can eat with a fork. I don't really have anything planned for their dinner, so it's just kind of leftovers, what we have in the fridge. I'm going to cut up some cheese for him. This is not organic cheese. He goes through a lot of cheese, so he just buys the regular blocks, but when I cook for our family, I do use organic cheese. I'm just going to give him some slices of cheddar and also some slices of salami. So that will be great for him since he's not eating any carbs at all. And I'm gonna give them both some vegetables. So cucumbers are great. And they can both have their own little pack. I think I'll also throw in a pepper. Also, this peppers go good on keto. He can have a few peppers with not much problem there. So cucumbers, peppers, and just gonna fill up these little cubes with some snacks and things that they can eat throughout the night, because they do have a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back, along with a 2-hour practice. So it is quite a night. Giving some nuts, and my son likes some dried mango as well. So just putting things back away in the fridge, and that should be great. Remembering to take breaks, to stop, to go outside before starting your next project. And now I'm going to finish up what I started with the mudroom switchover. It's time to organize the shoes. So I've already put away the winter boots earlier, and now I'm just going to pull everything out of the closet. I'll give it a little vacuum refresh, and I'll put back in only what we need. I'll also vacuum the cubbies out and make sure that we're on track for springtime. So you don't want to do all this at once. You do want to take breaks throughout the day for your healing practices. But when you're working, you want to, be mindful. Just really enjoy what you're doing. Taking it in half an hour increments along the day. It's not a race, but it does make you feel good to do what you can and to make a contribution to your family's lives. So finding these little things to do every day, these projects, these homemaking projects can work with healing. Like anything you do can work with healing if you make it healing as you do it. If you stay in the moment, if you're mindful, if you breathe, if you untense, if you unclench, if you work slowly and you use it to build your mindful practice. Okay, so now it's the fun part, putting back in the shoes. I make a little section for my daughter, I make a little section for my husband, and a section for myself, where we have a variety of different kinds of shoes, from sandals to Crocs to running shoes, and maybe a pair of rain boots. And that will get us through the spring season as we head into summer. So as long as we each have a pair of rain boots or sort of spring fall boots, then we're okay, probably for the rest of the season, even if it does snow once or twice more. So once we finish up with the shoes here, I can go and just finish up with the cubbies as well. And it's really a wonderful feeling to be able to support my family in these little small ways. And I am done with the spring closet. So that's wonderful. Can get rid of this empty basket and take another break. It's so important as we move through the day that we're stopping to breathe the fresh air. Before moving on, even to the rest of the job, just give yourself that space, give yourself that time. So now I'm going to finish the shoes in the hallway here, vacuuming it out. I'm not going to do a perfect job at vacuuming because I will need to take this mat up and I will need to take out all the mats in each cubby and the shoe racks and wash them down. But for now, it's enough that I'm just going to vacuum everything. Everything gets so dirty over the winter with the snow and sand and salt out on the roads. So I will have to pull all of this out and wash it down. But that is a job for another day. Right now I'm focused on the spring switchover. So just a small vacuum of each cubby will really do the job right now. And then making sure that each pair of shoes in each cubby is either a spring shoe, something that can work for spring. I often stop and play with my dogs along the way, pet them, pick them up. It's just a really soothing, healing thing to do. And so now the last task of the day that I have to do for the spring switchover is all the bins and baskets. So normally in the winter, I have one for hats and mitts, and now it's time to get out summer hats and put away the winter hats. So I have enough space, which is great. So I just pull them out of the top cupboards and switch them out. So as you can see, in the bin I'm working on now is all the summer hats that I stored up top. Now I'm just gonna bring these and put them down lower so they can be accessed now that we're into spring. I'm going to put the really, really heavy winter gloves and winter hats now away in a bin up top, and I'm only going to keep out a few. I'm going to keep out a few spring fall gloves and a spring fall kind of winter hat, and I will put the majority of them away until next season. And then I'm just going to keep a few more out for now because we always get those snowy days still in April. So a few light pairs of gloves and a light hat, a light toque, and that'll be great for this basket that she can still reach until spring and summer officially begin, as we kind of go back and forth from those beautiful days to those really, really cold days. So I'm going to leave her a few options here in an easy to reach spot. And I just have an empty bin and it can go up top here. Just store it away for now. All right, and then I'm going to do that for every bin. I also put a little bin right in their cubby for miscellaneous things. Like I'll put in my son's football or her hair elastic or things that I find, just randomly laying around. They can put little things in a box on their bench seat there. So again, I'm just going to take everything out of the cubbies and I'm going to bring spring down and I'm going to put winter up. I'm going to go through this for all 5 cubbies. I won't do the dogs because they don't need to switch anything around. They just have their food and different things kept up top. So again, I'm just going to put my son's spring hats down. I'm going to put all his heavy winter things in a bin away. And then I'll leave him out a box of thin winter gloves and a thin winter hat that he can still access for those chilly days until we really hit the peak of spring. And as you work, remember to breathe and let go of tension and stay in the moment. And remember why you're doing this. And tell yourself things like, I'm amazing. I'm a great mom. Look at everything I do. I love my family. I love my kids. I'm supported by the universe. My body is healing. It's coming back into alignment. These are the thoughts that you want to be going through your head. If you can't simply replace your negative thoughts, then distract yourself with a healing, uplifting podcast or a healing recovery story from somebody else that gives you motivation, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel like you're healing, whatever you can do to stay out of your mind and in your body, into the present moment. So doing these jobs that help your family also do that. They help you to ground into life, ground into your body, stay in the present moment. We're not working frantically. We're not distracting ourselves frantically. We're taking a methodical, mindful approach to homemaking, to healing and homemaking. And, as I go through all these bins, I just stay in the moment or listen to something that can uplift me. Just finishing up all the bins now. You can listen to a meditation while you're working. You can work so slowly that you can be in a meditative state while you're working, or you can listen to upbeat music and try to move your body and get into a happy groove. It's up to you. It's up to what you need and what your body's requiring on that day. Done, congratulate yourself. Really be proud of yourself for what you're doing. Make sure you're taking time to drink your water, to sit, to relax, to notice, to use your energy on any of those body parts that need healing, soothing, maybe a heating pad, maybe ice packs, just your hands, just your intention. Just bring a healing intention to your body. So whatever you need to do is what you should do. And then, of course, continuing to, put the dishes away, to clean up, to reset. Before sitting down to a journaling session, release your fears one by one, to release your anger, to release your sadness, to release anything that is holding you down, weighing you down. Release them all, one by one. Let it all out. Let anything out that is stuck inside you. See it leaving you. See it being released from your body. See it freeing itself from you, one by one. All your fears, let them go. All your health concerns, all your worries of the future, all your fixation on symptoms, releasing every fear now, freeing yourself as you let them all go. Before you settle in for another meditation, I like to do this meditation just before my children come home, so I leave a half an hour before they get home from school so that I can do somatic tracking or a mindfulness meditation with the attempt of coming into trust with my body, coming into full trust and relationship with any sensations, with my body, as I give myself unconditional love and allow myself to feel what is there. I have a few more minutes before the kids get home from school after my meditation. So I thought I'd pull out some spring cushions for the porch. And I think this is going to be really great. I hadn't planned on doing it today, but since I have 15 minutes before they get home, I just slowly busy myself with projects that are useful. And it's just a really nice thing to do. You know, it might be a little early. I might be fooling myself getting these out in April. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful day. And I'm inspired to just sit out on the porch and wait for the kids as they come home from school. So this will be my final project of the day. And once the children get home, it's really all about them. It's focusing on them, focusing on dinner, loving them, maybe help with homework, maybe help distracting themselves. I usually do one more meditation and then put everybody to bed, where I flop down on the couch with my husband and usually have an hour of mindless, funny TV shows with him, where just try to have an hour to ourselves to laugh and to snuggle as I get ready and before I head to bed. Bedtime is really important. It's just as important as morning, to make sure that you're getting into bed in the 9s. I usually like to try it for 9:30. And, that's it. Lather, rinse, repeat. When you're healing, you might not feel good on a certain day. You might be tempted to just lay in bed or cry all day. And that's okay. Journaling's okay. Feeling your feelings is okay. But get up, move, stay grounded in the present. Go through your routine, whether you think you can or you think you can't. Train your body that you can do little things, that you can heal, that you can contribute. Remind yourself how valuable you are. Continue to love yourself. Give yourself love and compassion all through the day, and build your self-esteem with every little project that you do, with every healing practice that you do. And now I'm just going to sit and enjoy the beautiful day before my children get home, and know that this has been a healing day as I move forward to full health.